Even the dining room stinks of dog, and this boar isn't helping, creating a most unpleasant mixture of aromas. Otherwise, while resting, Lily updated her estimates. 6 additional of Sir Dyer's worst brings Tom's Rumbottom's expenses to well over 1,000 gold the first year. Lily can only hope that the robbery will pay as well. If not, who knows? Maybe there's a toddler. Tom's Rumbottom the Fifth, who could be ransomed instead. His father could certainly afford it. Lily's initial scheme, hatched in the undercellars of the old Xoblob shop back in Waterdeep so many months ago, was to gain the favor of Lady Aribeth de Tylmarande and ultimately Lord Nasher Alagondar himself, in order to discover secrets of the Lord's Alliance and sell them to the highest bidder, likely the Black Network. But what is the Lord's Alliance? Or the Black Network, for that matter? What is the politics of the North? Believe it or not, there's little political strife between cities in the North. Rather than waste lives, gold, and energy on petty disagreements, most civilized folk here have bandied together against their true foes, the harsh northern climate and the cruel monsters who dominate the landscape. Despite this fact, there are still secret societies, political blocs, foreign factions, and political power groups, each with its own leaders, goals, enemies, and allies. The city of Neverwinter is ruled by Lord Nasher Alagondar. He is also a member of the Lord's Alliance, also known as the Council of Lords, or the Lord's Council, not to be confused with the Lords of Waterdeep. Their goal? The unified defense of the northern cities and promotion of their economic interests. The alliance itself is led by Lord Piergeiron of Waterdeep, the lawful and essentially good economic and military alliance of the rulers of the cities in the north and along the Sword Coast, works to keep overland trade routes along the coast and across the north as safe as possible and free from Zentarum influence or annexation. They consider the Harpers allies and the Zentarum, Luskan, and Calimshan foes. The Zentarum are the Black Network. They're essentially a mercenary company. Their goal? Domination of all trade routes in the north and along the Sword Coast. The current base of operations is in the town of Llorkh, almost 500 miles east of Waterdeep at the foot of the Graypeak Mountains. Lily didn't know it at the time, but Zar and Montaron were actually members of that organization. Lily is certainly familiar with or at least its capital, Athkatla, but it's quite far away. So is Calimshan, even further south of And so, the only other foe of the Lord's Alliance that resides here in the north is Luskan, home to both the Arcane Brotherhood and the Captain's Confederation. The Arcane Brotherhood is a mercantile company and wizards guild. Their goal? Political and economic control of the North. Its seat of strength is the host tower of the Arcane in the city of Luskan itself. Otherwise, hard information on the upper echelons of the Brotherhood are very difficult to come by. Lily, if you recall, showed questionable judgment in writing one of its overwizards, Jaluth Snakeface Alaerth, a letter. Lily also showed questionable prudence when she failed to inspect whether the letter she received soon after from Lady Aribeth was a forgery or not. The Captain's Confederation is a confederation of former pirate lords, and some say puppet leaders controlled by the Arcane Brotherhood. Their goal? Conquest of the Sword Coast and control of all trade north of Waterdeep. The High Captains, including Kurth from Lord Nasher's former Northern Four adventuring troupe, banded together to raid the coast in large numbers, disrupting trade and agriculture. Otherwise, there are always other parties that could be interested in secrets of the Lord's Alliance, like the Red Wizards of Thay or the Cult of the Dragon, but probably not with the same interest the Black Network, the Arcane Brotherhood, or the High Captains of Luskan would have. Alright, here's a guard dog popping right through the door. I don't think he sees Bones. Oh, and there's more guards. Alright.
All right, crew. Let's take them down.
Trying to send Wand to sleep. Whoa. Hold on. I don't know what Bones is doing. What is he doing? It's supposed to be Alright, Wand asleep. Only got the dog. Try it again. Oh. Alright, just gotta get out of there. Alright, mouse. Rod of Frost. Trying to keep Bones alive. Alright, negative energy. He has a recessed bathing pool after all. But at least it's afforded privacy and not paraded in the front hall like at the Hodge Inn. With a moment to think, Lily updates her estimates. 4 additional of Sir Dyer's worst and 2 additional dogs. That brings Tom's Rumbottom's expenses close to 2,000 gold the first year. That has to be worth the ransom of 2 toddlers at least. Maybe even twins. Tom's Rumbottom the 5th and Tom's Rumbottom the 6th. In fact, if she's lucky, they'll be conjoined twins. That way, Tom's Rumbottom will be forced to pay the full ransom, and not just for one of them, in case he has a favorite or something. Or if the 4th Rumbottom decides to pay the ransom for neither the 5th Rumbottom nor the 6th, she can sell them to the circus or something. Ship them down south to the Jansens to do the actual exchange with the traveling circus there and They could be billed as the Rumbottom Oddities, 7th wonder of the realms, abandoned by their father, loved by the world. Lily grins at how charitable it all sounds, despite the profits to be had.
Done and done.
The previous remarks regarding attacks of opportunity was for 3rd edition, by the way, which the current game engine is based on. Only 3 years later, they released a revised version, 3.5, made a number of improvements. The fact that they released it at all seemed like an admission at the time that 3rd might have had some holes. There's one I wanted to share with you. The infamous bag of rats trick. Now, if you thought players don't try to exploit pen and paper systems, think again. The idea is you bring a fighter and a bag of rats to a particularly challenging fight. And then here's how you set it up. Once your fighter's within swinging distance of the enemy, you untie and throw this bag of rats directly at them. So it's your fighter, the enemy, and a whole lot of rats at their feet. Now, this is what your fighter does. He proceeds to use the whirlwind attack feat.
Done and done.
And that will allow him to attack every single rat, all within a single combat round. And then, assuming he has the Great Cleave feat as well, that will grant him an extra attack against the enemy for every rat he kills. So, 25 rats, 25 extra attacks. 50 rats, 50 extra attacks. This is all within a single combat round. So, every enemy simply becomes a question of whether you brought enough rats. Anyway, I think that was one of the things that they fixed with 3.5. Lily is starting to lose hope. She presumes that that was Tom's Rumbottom's master bedchamber, and there's only one door left. Neither he, the painting, nor even his darling and valuable twin sons are to be found anywhere. A storage room, yet a door at the other end. Most curious. Perhaps Rumbottom has a secret wing, a panic room of sorts even, though the Rumbottom's wealth likely stops just short of having some extra-dimensional space to retreat to, like those hideaways created by the Sword Heralds of Cormyr. Only the most wealthy nobles, most successful merchants, and most powerful priests or wizards could even afford them. Not a bad find at all. Lily carefully wraps the bottle in her red robe and packs it away, telling Little Red that the cellars of the Lord's Alliance Office of Academic Affairs have finally improved. Sharwyn gives a polite smile, not really knowing much about wines. In Sembia, about 3 days' ride southwest of Selgaunt, home of Raven's riffraff if you recall, sits the port city of Serloon on the shores of the Sea of Fallen Stars. There, they make a unique vintage, appropriately named Serloonian Special Vat. It's not the best wine, mind you, but it's certainly better than the other varieties that come from that city, like Glowfire or Topaz. It's a pale red, rumored to be over half raspberry and strawberry, with some grains added for smoothness and body. And it's made with a special fermenting and aging process, hence the name. Sharwyn, thinking of Rumbottom's 2- and 4-legged defenders, asks Lily what kind of guardian creatures she would have chosen to keep, since her mistress has so clearly made the case against the human or canine variety. A good question, and not one that Lily was necessarily prepared to answer. She's never had to defend a Realmsian domain. Any place she's called home outside Duramore is either provided for its own defense like Candlekeep or barred undesirables by way of wards or other mystical means, like her planar sphere in Athkatla, which also had a guardian golem, by the way. Alright, sure enough, there's at least 2 guards in here. If it's just 2, but I think it's more. I was just gonna say you might sneak up on 1. Maybe it is. Alright, he'll probably get killed, but see if we can get in there quick enough. Alright, want to sleep? Alright. She just put Bones to sleep too. Alright, it's alright though. Negative energy. Oh. Just lost Bones. Recalling.